Kid says he can make his own platform after those 3 years. Well, that's true. Joe Rogan has the ability, the money, the manpower behind him to do that. He is that big of a podcaster and influencer that he can make his own audio platform or his own app. And just him being on it alone is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's going to attract so many people that want to join it. So, um, and I agree with you there, kid. All right, man. We got something huge in the news this week. I've been following it, and I think it's a little bit weird, man. I'm not gonna try to pronounce her last name, but I know her name is Kamila. So this girl is 15 years old. She tested positive for a banned substance in the Olympics, right? And she still was able to compete, but they said, "Hey, if you win, we're not going to celebrate it. We're not going to uh celebrate as if like, yes, you won." I don't know how that makes sense, why they would even let this girl compete. And if she did win, which I guess she was favored to win, but you're not going to celebrate her win, what's the point of even letting her compete at that point if she's failed a substance that's against the rules and yet she still compete? Not only that, she ends up in fourth place, I believe, ends up breaking down because all of the pressure all of a sudden that she has on her, not the pressure of the world, in my opinion, the pressure of her own country, Russia. When it comes to this Olympic stuff, man, those Russia, they want to win. It is a big deal for Russians, man.
Yeah,
It's a big deal
especially
for
one of these
everybody,
events. These ice skating
bro.
events, like these are the ones that they make a
So,
big deal
Gio,
on, gymnastics and
here's a
whatnot.
here's a question for you, man. What do you think about the Olympics letting her compete after she's been tested positive for a substance, something that's been banned when it comes to Olympics? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, the first thing that I would address is like the elephant in the room, right? It's like the Shakari Richardson. She was, the same type top, scheduled to be what, top one, top two, in the Olympics, and then she popped positive for marijuana, and she explained what it was and why she did it. And again, why you break the rules has nothing to do with it, right?
Hmm.
So there are similarities in these two cases, and there are a lot of differences, right? Some of the similarities I'm looking at are they both were using banned substance. So
Hmm.
that alone, and then whatever their rules say, right? If it breaks down into like, all right, is it what type of drug is it? Is it cocaine? Is it an enhancement? Is it alcohol or whatever, right? And then depending on what it is, does the punishment change? I don't know that. Nobody's asking these questions, and we see it all as in like it's black or white. Like
Hmm.
these are the rules. If you break it, and then there's the punishment that should be the same across the board if you're evaluating the punishment as the same. So I don't know what it is, right? I don't know if marijuana and what she was taking are
Yeah,
different.
they don't break it down in terms
Right,
of what did you take. Oh, this
right.
is a little bit different. So what she took is something that, um, which is for the heart. It slows down the heart rate and it lets the blood flow a little bit better, and
Yep.
that you can concentrate a little bit better.
But that's the thing. It's
So
like it's is it a prescription? So not to get too like legal with it, right? So is it hers? And if it was her, what doctor um, gave it to her, prescribed it to her, and what was the reason? And I know HIPAA, you can't get those information or whatever, but chances are,
it's not prescribed to her, and I know
right?
that because she came out and said this is probably
It
after
was an
she's
accident.
coached.
Her grandfather, something about her grandfather's
Yeah,
pills, right?
grandfather.
But and if that thing is known by other athletes and the organization that this thing gives you like a boost of helping your blood flow more or makes you have more endurance or more focus, whatever it is that is outside of your body's natural ability and what's accepted for you to use as supplements, then she's good, right? But
Right.
it seems to me, and I don't know a lot about it. I'm not here to like be accurate on every little thing that I say. I'm reacting to this stuff, right? And people at
Yeah.
home can chime in and do all that stuff. And those that are more technical can say what they want, and they could drop facts in the chat, right? But what I know of, and it's not a lot, I'm just here to just talk about it, right?
Right.
Is she popped for some substance, and their excuse was it was her grandfather's, right? So if that's a violation, then you should get, if as long as that violation is will allow her according to the rules to play, great. But I didn't go looking, but I don't know if something like that was
But
stated.
it shouldn't matter though. You
Okay.
tested for something. It's her team to know what she's putting in her
Oh,
body.
absolutely. You know what you
So
know. We know.
yeah.
Everybody
So
knows.
I saw an interview with two ex Olympians, and one was a guy, one was a girl, and the girl said, "I've been doing this since I was 12. I've been tested since I was 12." She actually said, "We don't have it's Winter Olympics. We don't have off seasons
Yeah.
because when we're not competing, we're practicing."
Right.
So she said, "I'm at school, they pop up. I'm at camp, they pop up. I'm at home, they pop up. It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
She said, "You got to have a good team. You got to have a team you trust. You got to be able to trust your parents that they made a decision to have people around you that's going to,
Hmm.
you know, do right by you." The guy said the same thing. Random test. This is what they do. They know this happens. And the fact that she's 15 and she's saying she didn't know what she's putting in her body, don't somebody gotta speak to that? Like, okay, well, who's putting this stuff in a 15-year-old's body and she doesn't know what is happening? That's what that's the
Right.
route that they're going. She
Yeah.
doesn't
Like
know.
you brought up a good
So
point. You brought
somebody's
up a
gotta
good
get
point.
punished for this or
There,
something.
there's a lot of variables, right? And if you want to compare the Shikari Richardson and her, Shikari was older. Shikari knew what she was doing was illegal, right?
Mhm.
According to the rules, right? And I get it. Like the reason why she did it, it has some weight, but it's not in this case of whether she should be disqualified or barred from participating. And in this case, the wrong is still there. It's just not on the athlete. You punish the athlete by the organization or the organization by the athlete, right? And the organization, I'm talking about her coaches or who knew. They're
Right.
probably like, yeah, just give her this dope that'll get her extra friggin' whatchamacallit boost or an advantage. As long as she doesn't know, she's cleared of all scrutiny, judgment, all that stuff.
Yeah, still though, man. Rules are rules though, man. Like the
Yeah,
camps gotta know. You gotta have that maybe that one person. Hey, before you give her anything, I need to know
right.
what
I,
it is.
I'm pretty
I
sure. I'm pretty sure this. Not to cut you off, right? I'm pretty sure the organization like the Olympics, they don't play around. Their rules are probably buttoned down really tight, and it's probably relatively easy to find online for people that care about going to, because we raise these questions. Go search it on your phone. Go search it in the organizations like rules and regulations, right? If you got time to do that, I guarantee you, there's something in that says any athlete or performing or yeah, any athlete that's in the Olympics that's signed in officially as a competitor who pops for any drug is therefore the punishment is XYZ. That's in there, right? And I'm pretty sure it's like no matter who does it, if you pop for any drugs, whether you knew about it or somebody else knew about it, the punishment's still there. So what does that do? That should scare the coach, the trainer, the family, the doctor. Hey,
right.
whether it doesn't matter if she did it or we did it, she's still going to be disqualified. So let's not mess with it. I bet you that's the rule.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of sympathy going around because of her age as well, right? I've heard a lot of people say, "Yeah, she's 15, she's young, she didn't know." So
Yeah,
there's
but
a lot of
cheat,
sympathy card going around.
cheating is cheating, whether you're cheating or somebody else is
I
cheating, or
agree with you.
you know what I
I
mean?
agree.
Like think about the Super Bowl that just happened, right? If we find out that the refs were cheating, right? In an example, they weren't, right? But say they were cheating, are you now going to punish the Rams and be like, oh, the Rams didn't cheat?
Right.
Somebody else cheated on their behalf so they could win. And that's what
Right.
seems like has happened in this case. Whether she knew or didn't know, we don't know. But she's probably 15. She probably had not much of an idea. They were like, hey, let's keep her clean. And this is all speculation, right? Because I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just that sympathy thing that she's 15, I get it, man. But then again, this girl right here, she lost her mom. What was her sympathy? They just said, "Oh, you ghetto, you're stupid. Why would you do this at a time like this when you know better?" And that's what she was saying. Where's my sympathy? And you see, it says she questioned why the girl was able to compete and she wasn't, right? She
Hmm.
asked that question, and let me try to scroll down here. And this is the response that they got, right? Now they're saying that despite the drug test, right, it's a slap in the face to all of those athletes who do it the right way.
Yeah,
And that's why I think why are the Olympics coming out now and going, well, it is a smack in the face. Well, she should never competed when these other girls are busting their ass. And here's the crazy thing. They knew about the test since December. And it's just coming out because somebody probably said snitched, somebody
yeah,
said something. So Shikari said, well, mine, it was already within a few days. Everybody knew
yeah,
about it and everybody came after me. Why is that?
yeah. And it was an instant
I,
decision, right?
yep.
And yeah, I mean, obviously there's undertones to it, right?
Of,
The racial undertones, as
of
like she's getting
course.
treated different, right? So you can't say that there isn't. What the percentage or the amount, I don't know, but here's the result: was one is an adult who did it on her own, and it was marijuana. And marijuana for the competition that she's doing, I don't know if marijuana is going to help. Like, I'm
Right.
not the most experienced marijuana user in the world, but you're not about to smoke a blunt or a joint or a bowl and then go run 100 meters.
But you know how I see that as? It's a banned substance. It's
Right?
on the
If
list. It's
Yeah,
on the list.
it's but there's more with the legal background that I have. You understand that there are elements, right?
No, no, no,
So
of
yeah,
course.
so you got to meet
But
all the
I
criteria for you to be fully guilty in accordance with whatever those rules are that we don't know what it is.
but we're talking about court of law though, right?
Uh,
Because this could be
yeah,
different.
but most things in that's written in like rules, regulations, they kind of use the same
Okay.
frame, right? So in this case, I will bet you, I will bet that, and it could be black and white. If it's black and white, it's like any drugs in your system in this list that's prohibited, instant disqualification. If that is the one paragraph, two sentences,
Hmm.
then they're wrong as hell. Simple
Gotcha.
as fact. But I bet you it's more complicated than that. It's
Right.
got to be like the athlete knowingly, or maybe it might be like, doesn't matter if the athlete knew or the trainer knew and the athlete didn't, you're still barred. And then it breaks it down into certain categories: marijuana and performance, or illegal drugs, performance drugs, enhancement drugs, and because there are categories of all of those.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they see it separately and by occasion. Then they've got a little bit more room or leg to stand on as to why they did it. Because in one hand, like if I'm arguing against Shikari's claim, I would say the 15-year-old didn't know she was on the drugs.
Hmm.
And if they say, oh, this is just a heart medicine that was accidentally put in her mix, which I don't know how the hell I don't know. It
Right.
sounds like a lie. If it sounds like a lie, usually you're like, it's probably a lie. So you got to understand. So this girl has no one. They're saying it's an accident. Two, she didn't know about it. And then you look at Shikari. It's wasn't an accident. You smoked. You did say, oh, I was fishbowling and I accidentally blah blah blah. Right. So she's old enough. She did it and she knew it was wrong.
Right. And that's why I think a lot of the sympathy comes like she's young, just like to me it's like what are you teaching her? What are you teaching the other young girls? What are you teaching just by saying, "Hey, you cheated, you got caught. All right, we're going to let you just compete anyways,
Yeah.
but if you win, we won't celebrate it. We won't give you this and that."
Look,
That's wrong.
I agree, and here's the thing. This is the reason why. Again, we don't know the details, but
Right.
if it is, let's say that this is the case, right? That it should be, if it's banned to substance, you should get disqualified.
Yeah.
Think about a parent that's treating one kid better than the other, right? One kid, does the same punishment, but does the same violates the same rules in the house, but gets worse punishment, right? And then that's going to cause you to be a hypocrite, unfair, uneven, and it's gonna cause the rules to look like a sham. Like you're
Right.
picking and choosing the punishment. That's why you have to be like right down the line with all these things, understanding that there are variables, right? There's different variables of a crime or a violation, but there's a ground floor that no matter what, this is what happens. But if it's
Yep.
worse and worse, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but
But there's just
yeah,
something weird about it as far as like, you found they knew this in December. and it's just
Yeah,
coming out. There's just something to it. Like it's just something that's just not right, man. I think if someone didn't snitch, where I think someone
right.
did, it's a go.
It
We just
it,
go,
it would
nothing
have gone
happened.
through under the radar. I mean,
Yeah,
this I wouldn't doubt that maybe something like that has
yeah.
happened and it leaked and they didn't want it to leak because they were like, no, we don't want like I don't know, but
And
there's
it
definitely it doesn't smell legit.